Fire away. Or not. First question. Anybody?
How exciting is it having a new addition to Philadelphia Union in the league?
It's a great start to our 15th season. A lot of things to be really happy about. And having our 16th team here in a great sold-out crowd, people coming out in the rain. It's a good night for us.
How important is it to have Philadelphia come in with its own stadium right away?
It's very important. It's important for us to be in the fourth largest market in the country. We wanted to be there since the start of the league, and it took quite a bit of time to be able to get a good owner and get the right public deal to get a building built. And first couple of games in the Link, I think, will be big and exciting. So we've got a good thing going on down there.
Were you worried at any point that you might not be here tonight?
I wasn't worried about it. We're certainly happy to be here, and it was good to be able to reach resolution with our players.
We're quite actively involved in negotiations. Sure to comment on that.
Yes, I think you guys might have heard this over the last week or so. Our players are a unique bunch of guys. I don't think there's ever been a group of players so actively involved personally in collective bargaining negotiations. We had some tense moments on Tuesday. We discussed bringing the players in the following day. 25 guys hopped on a plane and they got in a conference room at the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Services in D.C. and they didn't get out until Saturday morning. They were actively involved, going through the issues, participating in the actual bargaining sessions. They deeply understood our proposals and what the ramifications were of some of the things they were asking for. And ultimately, I think without their involvement, we would not have had a deal. So I think it's a very positive statement about our players.
Can the success of the Sounders last year be used as a little bit of a blueprint for new expansion teams?
Very much so, and it's not that it can be; it actually is being used. Most of Philadelphia has been out here several times to try to learn from the Sounders some of the things that they've done to interact with their fans. The Sons of Ben really came out of. Our relationship with Sons of Ben really came out of some of the understanding that we have with supporters around the league. This is a great story for us, and we've obviously got to try to replicate it in other markets. One way to do that is to share some best practices. Another is to understand the dynamic that exists between this city, the location of the stadium, some of their marketing efforts, the passion and involvement of their ownership. Those are all things that could happen in any market.
Can you talk about just the start of this game? Pretty chippy to begin with. Philadelphia had a yellow card, I think, in the first minute, and now they're already playing down a man. Does that mar their debut?
I don't think so. Listen, Peter Novak is a very experienced coach and a guy that we have a lot of respect for, and I think he's going to come out and play the style that he thinks makes sense for his team. Certainly everybody will remember the fact that their opening game had a guy red carded, but that's the way Philadelphia's opted to play, and that's up to the coach.
Commissioner, with the CBA now taking care of, you said that you get back to the business of taking care of the other things you wanted to get to. What's the status with the designated player rule at this point, and are you going to address that this
Well, we should be able to talk about that shortly. There's that DP program has been successful for us. Certainly, Freddie Lundberg is a good example of that, and I think it would make sense for us to look at expanding the designated player rule. We've got to kind of take a deep breath after the finalization of our negotiations and get back to addressing that. But we should be able to do that shortly.
No timetable?
Can I just follow up on?
No timetable? Shortly.
Would that DP addition, how much would that, if there's a second one, assuming there'll probably be two instead of one, and if that's the case, how would that fit in the salary cap situation?
Well, again, so everybody knows, and most of you probably do, that's outside of the budget, and there's a charge against that, the budget, certain charge that player. Those are the things we've got to talk about. What's that charge? How many designated players can come in? But we've got to think about it like we've gone through with our CBA negotiations, long term. What's the long-term impact of that? How does it affect the dynamic in our teams, and how does it attract fans to our games? It's both a quality, but also a player quality, but it's also a promotion and marketing objective.